Welcome to our first project in Blender. What we're going to do is create dominoes like you see here. And what we're going to be doing is basically changing up the properties of the dominoes so that their color will change and that the objects, the dominoes, will act like they would in real life. Okay, so to get started, you guys want to go to the Programs folder, open up Blender, and what you'll see is something that looks like this. You'll have the camera with the little cube in the center. So we want to add in our plane or our ground. So to do that, you're going to go to Add Mesh and select Plane, and that'll put it inside the cube. So what we want to do is scale it. So hit S and then 5 and enter. S5, enter. And that will size the plane to where we want it for right now. Next thing you want to do is you want to select the cube, which we're going to make into the domino. So right click it. When you right click it, it'll have an orange outline around it, and that's how you know it's selected. And then what you want to do is you want to left click with the blue arrow key and drag up. Okay, and we are going to scale it on the X axis, which is the red arrow, and the Y axis, which is the green arrow. So first you're going to hit S to size and then Y, and you're going to move your white pointer towards that orange dot in the center. And as you do that, it will narrow the width on the Y axis, and you want it about right there. And then go to the red axis and you hit S and then X, and you can do that same thing and kind of make it narrow like a domino would be. And then once you have that, we can start changing the properties. So you're going to move your mouse till you get this double arrow right here between these two windows. And when you have the double arrow, left click and drag to the left. And that'll bring out this window. You're going to select the materials button, which is this one right here. It looks like a little circle, kind of like a globe almost. Click on that. And then under where it says diffuse, there's this white box. You're going to left click on the white box, and that'll bring up the color palette. And you can left click and drag, and as you do that, you'll notice that your cube will change color. And you can go ahead and pick a color for your cube. And then the next thing you want to do is go to the physics button. And up here where it says Blender Render, you're going to click on that, and we want to change it to Blender Game. Okay, so you're going to enter Blender Game, or click on that Blender Game button. And this is where we change the properties for our object. So right now, under physics type, it's static. Okay, we want to change it to rigid body, and as we do that, you'll notice that the actor box is checked, and you want to check on collision bounds. And once you have that done, you can go ahead and move this window back so that we can just see this 3D viewer here. Okay, and we have our domino set up. The properties are set up so that if we hit P right now and it was tilted, it would fall over, just like something standing up like a board would if it was tilted over. Okay, so we want to basically create our dominoes. You guys are going to create 50. I want you to stack them at least 2 rows high and just have a good time with it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to right click on your domino, and there's different ways to duplicate. The keyboard shortcut is Shift D. So after you push Shift D, left click, and the duplicate will be on top of the original. So if you just left click on the green arrow and drag forward, you'll see that the duplication occurred. The second way to do it, right here, you can click on Duplicate Objects, and then I would left click when you do that, and then use the arrows to move it. Okay, so I'm just going to continue doing that for a few more times. And as you can see, we're running out of room. So we'll go ahead and right click on our plane, press S, and then use your mouse to drag out and just make your plane maybe a little bigger than the grid. Okay, it's hard to tell on the video, but you have that grid. Just make it a little bigger than that. Okay, so we'll continue duplicating. I'm just pushing Shift D to do that, and then moving them. Alright, this is what I want to show you. I want to duplicate this last one here, and I'm going to use the blue arrow to drag it up. Now to rotate it, you have different modes. Right now we're on the translate mode, which gives us the arrows, the red, green, and blue arrows. The one to the right of it is the rotate mode, and then the one next to that is the scale mode. Okay, I'm going to click on the rotate mode, and it's going to give us a rotate manipulator. And if you guys have used Animation Master before, you're familiar with it. Okay, so you're going to left click on this red circle and drag, and then use your translate mode and basically move it. Use those arrows to move it. Okay, and if it's a little off, you can always go back and just adjust it. And then go back. You want to go to your translate mode once you have it. And once you have that one done, you can do Shift D and you can move it. And that's how you'll create your multi-levels. And you could use this, if you want to curve it, you could use your rotate mode again and click on the blue and kind of change the direction that the domino is facing. Okay, so just be creative. If you want to create like a circle that they go into, you can do that. It's really just a fun project. You don't have to count all your dominoes. If you right click on the last one you've created and you look over here, it'll tell you. I'm in the physics button mode. Okay. Let's go over one thing. This basically the beginning one. You want to use your rotate, and you want to rotate it forward. Okay. And the reason we want that is so that when we hit P, it'll fall forward. Okay. So I'm gonna hit P here, and it gives me this gray screen. Okay, now if you're showed it falling, then you're good, just ignore this. But if you get this gray screen like I did, here's what I want you to do. We're gonna save our file. Okay, so no matter whether it worked or not, you're gonna save your file. So do File, Save As. You guys are gonna go to the Y drive, but since I'm at home, I don't have the Y drive. Okay, so I'm going to go to the E drive. Alright, you're gonna go to your period, your folder, and your Blender folder, and you're going to name it dominoes.blend. Okay, and I'm just gonna name it dominoes1 because I already have a file. So up here in the top, this shows you which folder you're saving it in, and down below is the file name and the extension. So dominoes.blend. Once you have that, you're gonna click Save As. Okay, close it out, and then go to the Programs folder and open up Blender again, and then go to File, Open Recent, open it up, and now press P, and you should see that your project is working. Okay, and obviously this wasn't close enough, so you can make adjustments to your dominoes, get them the way you want. Once you have them working, just make sure you go to File, Save at the end, okay, after you've already saved it in your Blender folder. And that will be it for part 1 of the dominoes. You want to make sure that you have 50.